Hello to part 2 of the Brandmind podcast series about me and the Brandmind story. And the last time I finished when I said I needed to go back to Switzerland due to the pandemic. Before I went back, the last 4 or 5 days, I knew I wouldn't be able in 2 weeks to pay anything anymore. Nothing. Not even food. No employees. Nothing. So with the last money, I could book a flight back. And I brought COVID with me. So I had COVID. And I had a burnout. So the first 6 to 8 weeks after that, I was not able to work. I was sleeping like 3/4 of the day. And my back then business partner was leading the company. And yeah, so I was like, I hit rock bottom. Let's put it this way, which was good, right? I needed this. And I will explain to you why in a second, but it was not that easy. And of course, money was running out. So, and we were very lucky then because then we received a credit from the bank, the COVID credit and things like this. This kind of held us for the next 2.5 months. And then we needed to get to a new client or a new project. And back then, one of our clients helped us out and gave us a project to work on to move forward. But it was a battle, right? So we were really, really watching everything concerning money. And we were doing exactly nothing because we couldn't move a lot. And and I took my time to kind of find my way back into the business because I saw my laptop and I cried because I was not able to work. I had a burnout. I really had a burnout. And it took me, 8 weeks to kind of re-engage and to find, my light again. I don't know how to say this differently. And to say, okay, let's use this COVID to kind of get forward even conceptually with our model and what we're doing and try to make first steps into technology and to learn, which we did. And then we also hired some more employees, which turned out at the end was not a good idea. But this is how you learn. So this is startup life, right? You start something and it's not working out. And then you learn, you pay and you learn. And that's the reason why many people don't want to go this way because they might face that. On the other hand, it's very valuable because you learn a lot about yourself. So when you go outside of your comfort zone, you learn. You learn you are confronted with yourself and you learn. And and then when you want to learn, right? So there are many people who blame others. Also, I blamed 100% the country, Switzerland or others, whatever, when you are in the victim role. For sure, the culture is not the best to start out, but when you start in your victim role to blame others, this is not going to help you out. So you start a process, you start a transformation if you want that, right? So there are people who stay in that victim role. But people who want to overcome this and thrive out of their habits, out of their patterns, they will find ways to do this. Now, what happened then is that we continue to struggle. So the COVID was over, I think, 21 April, May or something. And it was not easy to get to new clients because in the pandemic, nobody wanted to invest in something new. So they played it safe and budgets were cut like everywhere. And that's why it was very, very difficult to get them to a next client with something new. And Yeah, it was really not easy. But finally, we made that. It took a while through some networks. Very, I didn't expect this to go this way, and we got to then new clients, and one big client then at the end, another big one. So, and then it took it step by step. But constantly, it was really, really difficult. And when you gain then a new client, our client base were until now mid to corporates. So to have corporate clients means you have long sales life cycles. Long. Means that, and you cannot go and in the beginning, when you're the first or second client, and ask for standard prices immediately. You need to prove yourself. So that's why you go with pilots and tests, and they are willing to pay that, but it takes time. Even to conduct that project, it takes some months. And then, then you can prove yourself. And then, because then the rollout, then the phase to the whole project needs to go to the executive board, and many people are involved, and it takes another 2 to 3 months until you get paid. So it can turn out that it takes 1 year until you get really money. So, and this was kind of the effect that we were in. And when you remember in the first part, I said that I continue to believe we are not good enough. I'm not good enough at the end, because it was back on me, right? Constantly fighting, constantly not having enough money, constantly don't know how to move on, if I can pay the rent next month. And I was not able to pay it for some months. There were, when you're not even able to pay food, right? So you're not able to pay any rent, you're not able to pay anything. So the good thing is that I had an amazing network who believed in me from the beginning, who helped me out financially from the beginning, and were investing in what I'm doing. And they were there then when I didn't have anything anymore. And they would still do it if something similar would happen. But what happens from a psychological perspective is that your self-worth is like nowhere, because you're fighting, no money, it's difficult to get clients. And if you are a person who started out like this anyhow, with different difficult circumstances in your childhood, whatever, so you have that tendency anyhow to drift into that mindset, then it becomes reality, right? So it becomes reality. Now, when you have that mindset, we are not good enough, I'm not good enough, do you go outside and show up and be visible and with self-esteem to really sell what you're doing? No. And this is what happened. So I closed myself inside my home and said, no. I didn't want to go to pitch. I didn't want to go to do this, what I'm doing here, because I thought we are not good enough. I believed what others told me. I thought, based on the circumstances, we are not good enough. So that's why. And then I was wondering why nobody cared and why nobody wanted to do business with us. Because, I was sending this out unconsciously. So it took long time. So, and what turned out for me is now my biggest lesson was you need a coach. You need mentoring. You need somebody who constantly helps you not to flip into that victim mode, to see that you are responsible. You have everything in your hands. You can, if you focus on what you want instead of what you don't want all the time, it gets better. So what people do is they focus on shit and what's not good and what they don't have all the time. So what happens? They attract exactly shit. Yeah. It's like they have the radio on shit. And if you hear all the time shit, you will experience shit, you will feel shit, and you will have shit in your reality. So you need to change the focus on what you want. And there's the problem. Many people don't know what they want. They know what they don't want, but they don't know what they want. They don't have clear goals. And I mean, clear is clear. I give you an example. Clear is, I want from now on to have, let's give it a number, I don't know, 100,000 per month on my bank account. Yeah. So this is kind of, and by the end of this year, I would like to have this and this kind of revenue. Okay. So, and I'm happy and thankful for this. Okay. This is important because there we are getting again into the emotions. You need to link what you have, what you're manifesting with emotions. You need to feel in this. You need to focus, right? It's not only I have a goal. There are rules on how you're doing goals, and they are universal goals, rules, how you need to manifest, how you need to focus on things. So the thing is, change your thoughts, change the focus, and then things will, you will feel better because you start to believe in where you're going. Right? Instead of focusing that no money is there always. This is not easy because this needs training, right? And at the end, what I wanted to give to or contribute to others now is that work on yourself, right? Because you need to become a certain version of yourself to achieve your goals. And this is work. You need to work constantly on yourself. You need to be willing to invest yourself, and you need to be willing to work on yourself, to change that beliefs that you have inside, to change the patterns that you might have since your childhood, right? And this has not been done from one day to the other. This takes time. And especially for all of you who want to step out of your comfort zone, you need to be aware of yourself. You need to, at that point, you need to start, who am I? Where do I want to go? Where's my blind spot? That's why you need a coach, because you can have a great knowledge. You might have a broad horizon, but we have blind spots and we don't see our own stuff. So, and yeah, that's my main message is go, learning and doing, get a coach, focus on yourself, focus on things that you want and not what you don't want. And go and take responsibility for everything in your life. 100%. This is extremely important because I had this myself. So there were things in my life where I didn't want to take responsibility, and that's not going to work. So why should, if you are not willing to invest in yourself and you take the responsibility for yourself, why should anybody else invest in you? Not going to happen. So this is my main message, and this was just a short version, even if this is the second part of it. But this was just a very high, short version of my journey until now, and I'm still learning. This is a learning process. I have high goals, really high goals, and I'm still not the version of myself that I need to be to achieve where I want to go. But I'm working on it every day. And that's why focus on yourself. Take your time for yourself. Stop consuming all the time others' lives on social media and whatever. Focus on yourself. Thank you for watching. Thank you for taking the time. And I'm happy to see you again in one of the next episodes.